Bullshit. So, yep. No, 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 no.
Bro, that was not it at all. My gosh, my freaking game just like... Or my computer threw a temper tantrum.
I'm starting to question how many people actually left. It might just be a bang. Is this a 1v1?
Maybe.
God. What the fuck? Nani?
Just looking at you. Might have a sniper.
Nah. He would have fired. Or yeah. Or we could just not work. Cool. I miss Anvil.
Oh, bro, so do I.
Get shit on. Sorry, bitch. Wow. Alright, we'll just play the arenas game.
You know?
Just get height.
Just standing in the open?
It really is just
bold.
Wow.
Yes, to you, we are back. I don't know why my computer had a temper tantrum. It seems like it only happens when I play Apex, so I gotta see what that's about, but it's all good. I just think that
Big
OBS
listen.
stopped responding. And that made things go a little fuzzy.
Rude. Wait, what?
Literally, your stomach is
There only
wobbling.
one?
Yeah, I think it's literally just one guy. Oh no, that looks like a fuse. Oh no, it's not a fuse, it's her.
You suck, Bangalore.
Oh, bro, she's
You
one.
suck.
Just ape her,
You
bro.
suck.
Full ape. Oh,
Wait,
GG,
oh.
she has self, yeah. Oh, clap it up for Sapphire.
Do it. 7, 6, 5.
They're stuck in that animation when they get
Do
up,
it.
too. No way. But you're different. Oh, no. No way you let them heal up. Wait. Oh,
I was
my
hoping the circle would get them, but
God.
whatever.
Oh, I'm gonna throw up.
I was hoping the circle would get him, but it's moving really fucking slow.
That was so disrespectful. I love it.
Are the Apex champions.
I love it. Good stuff, my boy.
Our man got destroyed twice.
Insane. You really let him get up? They really popped a bat right in front of you. I know they mad. Yeah,
so
Lily, they
scared.
are.
At that point, they're so scared they don't know what to do, so it doesn't even matter.
Exactly. It literally doesn't matter. Alright, homie. Well, that's it for me for Apex. I'm gonna go play some Rocket League.
Alright, dog. Good luck with that.
Alright, GG's, bro. Great games today.
I'll catch you later, man.
Alright, man.
Peace, man.
Peace.
Yeah.
Well, squad. Gang, gang. Let's oh, I forgot I'm playing on stretch res because I'm playing Apex. Here we go. That's better. Yeah, I know they're pissed, bro. That was so funny. Squad. Squad. Lily, there was like 8 people in here at one time. Isn't that crazy? I think that's the most people I've ever had in the stream. Was 8 people. Yeah, it had 8 people in it. Like, what? That's nuts. Alright, let's see what Pix is doing. Oh, Pixel. Yes, sir, we popular? Okay. Pixel, are you ready to play Rocket League? Bro, I played Y and J on stream yesterday and my video got copyright claimed. Are you kidding me? All that not signed to a major label shit was cap. Loading in. Alright, heard you. Discord? Alright, bet. Yes, sir. Why are you screaming? Let's make a new preset with Tatsumi or Takumi.
I was like, yo, what?
Wait, what? Let's pick out some wheels. Those are ugly on this car.
My cough going crazy today.
Those are, huh?
My cough going crazy today.
Is it? It's bugging you?
You know, it's stupid.
Bro, all it is wheels stuck on this car, man. Come on. I need to put like JDM wheels on this car and nothing else. Yeah, I gotta pick a different body. Just not doing it.
Ooh, let me start my stream.
Maybe we'll do an X-Devil skin. All my X-Devil, whatchamacallits are ass though. None of them are good. All of my, what do you call them?
My video get copyright claimed, I wonder?
Maybe.
Why are they so fast, bro?
I'm saying.
Wait.
Maybe I'll play with the Dominus again. I haven't played with the Dominus in a long time. Let's make a Dominus skin. Mondo, that shit is ugly. Bro, what is I'm about to just put no decal on it.
Hey, yo, you want to translate this for me real quick?
Translate what?
I see a tweet.
Just told her to go suck her fucking mom.
Oh my. Such hostility.
Yep.
Good heavens.
That's a very popular insult in Jamaica, is telling someone to go suck their mother.
Where? Like,
You know.
what am I going through? Like, at a teat? I don't know.
It's up to it's up to your interpretation. Either way, it's very offensive.
That is bananas.
Isn't
Like,
it?
the mom, why she got bought in there?
It's disrespectful. You know how I be. Come
That
on.
is crazy. Oh.
Oh, I like this blue with the purple though. That's kind of clean. What color with the camo? Orange maybe?
Put up, pop, put up. Starting the stream.
Stream time.
I still don't have my face cam up. Cause I don't want them to see me coughing and throwing up on stream.
It's okay.
Cause that's what I'm gonna be going through. We gonna play this for about an hour. And then, you know,
Game of
we'll go have a
Thrones.
good time. Eli, baby.
Hello.
Need something to listen to. So, Seven, how are you doing?
Oh, good.
Are you excited?
I am indeed.
Ooh.
Rocket Talks, baby.
Rocket Talk, you got the best of me. Here we go. This is an hour. Put that on. Hello, stream. Good morning. We're back for more
Wheels
Rocket ugly. It is just for Rocket League so that y'all can watch me sell some more. That's, you know,
Now you're gonna be
that's the
selling.
goal.
You're a demon.
This is only true sometimes. Other times I am horrid. You know, and that's just how it be. That is just how it be.
Oh yes, sir. Let's pollute the environment with this joint right here. That shit is hard.
Why it's not capturing you?
My me.
Get your voice. Alright, say something.
Yo.
Boom! Oh, you're a little low. Let me turn you up. Say something again.
Yo.
Yo.
Invited you?
Shoot. What do you say?
Said I invited you.
Okay. Rocket League time. How was Apex? Was it exciting?
That's good.
I was playing The Sims for the most part. Or I was trying to play, you can queue us. What? You can ready, what? You can load, I don't know. You can do something.
You alright?
It started, I'm trying. Yeah,
Wait,
freaking-
I gotta cancel matchmaking.
Okay.
Just have to change my title and shit.
What was it? gonna say something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what I was gonna do is I was gonna keep your stream open, so I could look at 2 chats at one time. My stream now.
Mm-hmm.
Lily, it's me. Lily, I'm streaming.
I know
Alright,
I
but
can
I'm
go.
ready. Dang, I should have got some water. Next game.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot. My voice. It's been failing me.
A little raspy.
A little bit. Some going on.
It's all good.
Baba, on my way. No, bro, I don't want to steal you. What the heck? I just wanted to tell you. You're cute to freaking open another tab.
Yeah, she can have both open. Or she could just go to yours, I don't mind.
I hope I'm like loud enough. I always feel like I'm talking quiet. Shoot. Oh, is Rocket League even on the stream right now? Did I even put it on there? I don't know. We'll find out. Haha, nerd.
Damn.
He almost saved that. He almost saved that. He really did. Good try.
Why did he go for it? That was weird.
Maybe he got lost. Save it? Good job. This is the kind of start I was looking for yesterday. Yesterday we hopped on a Rocket League in pros. Playing
The
against
demons
pros.
were on.
Like what? Are you for real with that? My frame rate flawless right now.
Excellent. Oh, why'd you hit it a second time?
Because he was gonna hit it.
No, that's
Oh,
fine
that's
then.
funny. Nerd.
Are you kidding?
Oh, whoops.
I just literally went through the ball.
That'd be
I went
happening.
through the ball.
Yeah, that'd be happening. That be happening.
Some BS.
Oh, you know what? Before we talk about what we're actually gonna talk about, let's talk about something that I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
As everyone is aware, there is a comic that I am.
Ooh.
Nice. There is a comic that I'm working on, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like really priority right now. I've decided because I don't think my skill level is to the point of where I can do what all the things that I want to do
Okay.
regarding to the comic. Which and I've come to terms with like that being fine because like the current people who have their webcomics or whatever aren't as young as me. They're older.
Yeah, you're very young right now.
Yeah, so I feel like I have time to develop my skill before I have to commit to just
I agree.
I gotta do the comic and I gotta produce it, blah, blah, blah. And I can focus on other things like building my animated alert career and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, things like that.
Yes, yes. I agree.
And then also,
Oh, I sold.
no, you're okay. And also, the platform that I do want to release on Webtoon, I feel like is, I don't know really what to call it, but they're doing that thing where a company gets a lot of traction, so they start being able to partner with like other companies that are really famous.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Not that they sold out or anything, but like a lot of their most popular webtoons currently out were ones that had come from Canvas, which is like user generated comics. You understand?
Yeah.
And
Good save.
now they just got a deal with DC.
DC,
to
like,
produce-
comics?
Like, yeah. And
Oh,
it's
wow.
just like,
That's huge.
cool. That's huge. It's great. It's just a lot of money, but it's like, okay, are they still recognizing their canvas? You know, like there's a lot of stories on there, so many good stories that deserve traction and time. And it's just like now we just going this DC, and it's like they kind of can't compete with that in terms of readers. You know what I mean? So I don't really know how to feel about that, but I just don't like when companies do that, especially whenever they have like a section, a portion of their community that is just user generated stuff. You know? Because then it's just like, well, dang, get out the way. That's what they're gonna do now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's important things to think about. Nice shot.
But yeah, I won't rush shit anymore. I'm focused on one thing at a time. So I'm gonna just do some solo pieces, a bunch of those, and then focus on emotes and badges and alerts and stuff like that. And that's what I'm gonna do. Just that. I mean,
Give the
not
people
now.
what they
'Cause
want.
Lola decided to. Yeah. I'm gonna do that for the most part
Oh,
until
good
I
save.
feel like my skill set is good enough to pursue, you know, the things that I want to do. Which means a bunch of practicing, but that's fine.
Yep. I think it's important to know your limits so you can acquire the skills that you need, and then so your projects can go the way that you want them to go.
I just backed up. Yeah. Lily, bro, excuse yourself. Don't come in here burping. You funking up the chat. I've been craving root beer. Yeah, you know, and it's not like I can do it. It's just the problem is just it takes me a while to draw certain things, and it's like I need to be pumping that out quicker. So,
There you go.
you know,
Yep.
that's really it. It's just like the speed of that which I'm creating.
Yeah.
And it's like, of course, as an artist, you don't want to rush your work, but it's not exactly work, it's a comic. So it's like,
Right.
it does need to be completed in a timely manner, even if I do chapters beforehand. If I'm not going fast enough, that's gonna catch up to me.
Of course.
You know? And you don't want that.
Oh,
No.
wow.
Oh, good.
I wasn't in a good enough position to hit that right there.
But you know, it's all good. I'm gonna start doing them pixel animated alerts, and I wanted to try. I don't think I'm good enough to try like actual animate, like, you know, frame by frame detailed animated stuff. Because
Yeah.
I don't know. That's like a whole different level of animation that I don't have yet necessary. But working with pixels is easier because I'm moving squares around and they have limited, you know. No, move. No. Whoops. It's a little far, a little hard. No, get out the way.
Oh, what? No. No.
Ugh. It's hard.
Oh, I could have been there for that, but I sold.
That's okay. You said ginger beer, delish? What is ginger beer?
It's like ginger ale, but it's not as sweet, and it tastes more like ginger.
I don't even know how ginger
Jamaican
tastes.
people really like that.
Oh yeah? Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
What? I thought it was going out.
Yeah. I had to live. That was crazy. That was nuts.
I didn't think that was going in at all.
Oh yeah, it's okay. It had a little curve to it. It was spinning the opposite direction. That's why I went in. But what else? Well, let's go ahead and talk about the T. What's up? What happened? Why you say my name? Now I'm anxious. I also sound congested, I think.
You do a little bit.
This is horrible. I don't know if I'm just talking without breathing or like or if I'm actually congested. I don't know, but I'm getting angry. I'm experiencing anger. Listen to you revving your engine. Oh yeah?
T?
Who said T? We were lined up that time.
Oh, were we? But okay, but we were lined up maybe, but you always go for it when we're lined up.
I'm just passing the blame. Why you say my name? I can say your name if I want to say your name. Is there some kind of issue at hand? I do what I want. Get out the way.
Wow.
Yeah. Almost sold. That was crazy. Ooh, that was close.
It was.
My boost now, coward. Good job.
Oh, you're kidding me, right?
What just happened to me? Yeah, hit that.
Oh, wait.
Ugh. Bro, get out of the way. But on to the matter at hand. Today, for our Rocket Talk, we are going to be talking about something very exciting, very important.
I don't know if exciting is the word.
It's not, but like, I'm gonna say it. It's exciting in like a spiteful way. That's
Yes.
what it is, yeah. So,
You know
a
what?
couple days ago, what's up?
It is exciting because consent is exciting.
Correct.
Right? Consent is
very
exciting.
Yes, it's
Consent
very
is
exciting.
good. It's
It's
important. It's
What is it?
necessary.
Right.
It's
All
a
of
number
those.
of things. A positive thing.
Right.
Carry on.
That is the exciting part.
Yes.
So, a couple days ago, I really don't know how long it's been. I don't keep track, honestly.
I think all this nonsense started on the 17th.
The 17th.
Yes.
On the 17th. Was it even the 17th? Because I remember when we loved some consent, correct. Because I remember when I actually found that it was happening was from Griffey. I actually didn't find out about Heavenly. I
Mhm.
found out about Griffey before I found out about Heavenly.
And how long ago
So-
was that?
That was like the day before, because Heavenly had his little stream. That was happening the day before. It wasn't the same day that we found out.
Well,
That was the stream they had
see, I'm basing it off of when the first woman told
Oh,
her
when she
story.
came out.
And I
Oh,
believe,
no.
scrolling back in her tweets, it was on the
Uh-uh.
17th that the
Yeah.
original tweet came out about it, yes.
Yeah.
So
So
we're go-
I'm not gonna get into the details of.
Oh, I am.
Everything. No.
I'll get into the details.
we gone. It's like, to summarize for those who don't want to hear the details. First, to summarize, Heavenly Controller is a black YouTuber?
Yeah,
Anime YouTuber?
on
He's some
anime content creator.
a content creator. He's part of a circle that will get mentioned while we're here talking about this. He's part of the same, like, cut from the same cloth he is as a bunch of these other people. You feel me?
Yes, I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah. So, Heavenly Controller has been accused. Well, I say accused, not in a court sense, just as in there's allegations pending. Not really pending, because we believe the victims here, but
And he admitted to it on stream,
he did
live.
admit on stream. there's been some sexual assault allegations against this man
From
You
3
know,
different women.
all horrible and bad. 3 different women.
Hmm.
More to come. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I mean, there might be. There might be. I wouldn't be surprised.
You know how it was with Smash. It just kept coming.
Yeah,
Just
no
kept
kidding.
coming. Wouldn't stop. So there's basically been some allegations against him, and usually that wouldn't warrant a discussion around it, because he did kind of admit to it on stream, and he's continuing to post on his Twitter some videos of him talking or whatever. And I probably wouldn't even talk about that, because it's really just whatever. Like, that just be happening with people. People be getting accused of stuff, and it's true. It might not be true. It don't matter. It be happening, and I don't really pay no
Yes.
mind to it. It's just like whatever. But this incident in particular is rare. In terms of just rare, we don't usually see men defend their horrible brothers like this out loud. Usually it's quiet. Okay.
Yeah, usually they say
So-
absolutely nothing.
Right. Exactly. Which most of them did, but Griffey likes to talk.
Oh yeah,
Love Griffey. be
love to
specific.
talk.
He is a black, I say conservative because he's anti-abortion and has gone on anti-feminist and anti-abortion spiels. And so that's kind of what I classify him as, a black conservative. Long Beach Griffey decided to spend hours upon hours. He streamed his defense. He tweeted about it, made a Twitter space where he cried for his friend, basically defending him from the allegations. So he did go, I did watch the live stream before he deleted it, because he did take it down, but I'm sure someone's got the whole thing somewhere. He did do a live stream a couple days ago at the nighttime where he basically just tripled down on what he had said in the Twitter space.
Triple,
And it was-
quadruple down on what he had to say. Yeah.
Basically. It was like 50 minutes long, and it was literally just him discrediting the
Oh, shit.
victims, blaming the victims. He described his friend Heavenly as very pushy, and that he couldn't understand. What did he say? He said he doesn't understand body language.
And social cues. That was
and
the
social cues. That's what he said.
presented excuse for
Ex-
the defendant. Is that he can't understand social cues.
Right,
Now-
because that
Now,
makes sense.
I want to expand on this,
Yeah, go ahead.
on the fact that he said he doesn't understand social cues. I think it's a very insulting argument to make,
This.
because I like to believe that most people who had a decent upbringing and who had a decent education and who are not people with autism have at least a crude understanding of body language and social cues.
Yeah, right.
Now, as many of you may not know, or as some of you may not know, people with autism specifically tend to
Not all,
be,
some of them, yeah.
yeah, I'm just saying it's mainly people who suffer from autism
Yes.
have this problem. Mainly people with autism have the problem of not being able to understand social cues and to be able to, you know what I mean, read the room and read sort of the vibe of how people are when they're interacting with them.
Right.
That's typically what happens with people with autism, and that can lead to them not. They may say something that is out of place. I don't want to say necessarily offensive, but they can say things that catch people off guard, because they don't necessarily know how to read the room. They just don't have the capacity to do so because they have autism. So I think this is a very disrespectful and insulting argument to make.
Not only to make, but he heavily implied it.
He
That it
really
was
wanted to
like-
drive home that point as if it was some
Yeah.
sort of excuse or justification for what he did.
Right.
At no point denying the allegations, but just making excuses for them. So I think that it's very insulting to the people with autism. I was actually on Twitter talking about it, and someone had commented saying that they were thinking that Long Beach Griffey was like trying to figure out if he was gonna say that Heavenly had autism or something like that.
No.
And I honestly think that would just be blatantly spitting in the face of people who suffer from autism and can't and can't and can't understand social cues, and those people and the people who suffer from that and are still able to conduct themselves properly and not be creepy and predatory around other people. So
Yep.
yeah.
It's very strange behavior. If a rapist rapes 10 women because he couldn't understand that her running away from him was a no, I don't. This is because Griffey said that victims need to be held accountable for not
Yes.
verbally saying no.
That was the main point of
Because he can't read body language, so it's up to the victim to stop being sexually assaulted.
yes. And I think once again, it's a very insulting argument to make, not only people with autism, but to the victims, because it's not the victim's responsibility
No.
when they're clearly showing that they're uncomfortable and that they don't want to take part in whatever is going on. It's not their job to cater to the needs of the aggressor in the situation in order to, well, in this case, let them know that they're uncomfortable with what's going on. It's just not necessary. It would never be necessary in a situation with pretty much anyone, really. There's many other ways to say no other than explicitly saying no, is what I mean.
You know, it's something about.
Well, that's going
So
in.
I'm gonna summarize it again. Heavenly
Oh, God.
Controller has allegations against him of sexual assault. I mentioned rapist. He didn't rape anybody, as far as I'm concerned. He just was touching someone inappropriately who did not want to be touched that way.
It was actually
Yep.
just going over the actual allegations that came from these women. The first woman said that she was very drunk at home and she came home around 5 a.m. and he was basically just trying to get her to come over, right? And
Right.
I don't think I need to explain to people why it's a red flag to try to get a drunk woman to come over to your studio, actually, not even your home.
Yeah.
That is not just you, but a group of other guys, which one of which was Long Beach Griffey. I'm assuming Minicon was there.
Yep.
Essentially, his friend group is at the studio, and he's trying to get her to come over at 5 a.m. I don't have to explain why that's not right.
It's a red flag, like, you know.
And additionally, you can tell by the way that he's messaging her that he's clearly manipulating her to say yes, because he just keeps asking.
He does keep asking,
Right?
yes.
Not directly, which is part of the reason why a lot of people are defending this specific instance, saying that, oh, like, he wasn't badgering her, repeatedly asking her to come over, but it's the way that he's reading it. You can clearly see he's trying to manipulate her and make her feel bad so she'll come over. The second set of allegations were from a woman who he flew out to go see him. She said that basically the whole time that she was there, she was very uncomfortable. He was really up close and in her face and touching her and feeling her up, and she wasn't having a good time. And then he eventually ended up molesting her in her sleep. So that was the second woman to come out. And the third woman was the one who he had apparently approached at a party. Or not approached, rather, but sprung upon at a party when she was leaving the washroom. And attempted to grab her and started kissing her face and all types of craziness. So yeah, those are basically a brief summary. Yes, and he admitted to that one on stream, not directly and not fully, but he admitted to nonetheless.
He did. You know, first and foremost, I'd like to apologize just to anyone affected by sexual assault.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
anything like that.
It's a very
Especially
triggering situation.
It's super triggering. And like if you're a woman, you know how men be acting. So look, okay? It's all everything that has been said that he's done have been things that a lot of us have experienced.
It's true, yeah. Way too many. Far too many.
Ooh,
Oh wow.
crazy. Yeah, so it's just,
Yeah.
apologies to all of them and apologies to the girls because I know a lot of the time we run into the problem whenever sexual assault is brought up. We run into the problem of the accused, their fan base, their friends, all basically saying that the woman has only decided to say something because I don't know, she's not getting paid to keep a secret anymore,
Yeah.
or he's recently made her mad, or she wants clout or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just know that sucks because the one thing that you do not gain from being sexually assaulted is clout and money and fame.
And coming out about
You
it,
know?
it's exactly the opposite. You just get ridiculed day and night on social media, and it's honestly
Exactly.
disgusting.
You have people picking apart your text messages. People are telling these girls like, well, you were flirting with him, so of course he would try something whenever you guys got together because you were talking all this and this and this. As
Exactly.
if talking yesterday implies I'll say yes to you today.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly.
It sucks.
A lot of they just really just trying to find any and everything to just make you look bad, to discredit
Right.
your story, or find useless facts that have nothing to do with the situation at hand, that have
Right.
nothing to do with the fact that they were sexually assaulted. So yeah, absolutely. They
A lot
gain
of the
absolutely
time-
nothing.
A lot of the time it becomes just like she's like, hey, this famous person touched me wrong, and then the response isn't, oh my god, I'm so sorry. The response from his people are like immediately just to blame the victim for everything
Off the rip. And
Immediately.
I think that Griffey's comments about holding these women accountable for what, I'm not sure, but I think that contributed to how bad
Cut it out.
the, you know what I mean, to how bad the way these people were coming to his defense, and
Got it
how far the length that they went just looking up anything and everything to be able to discredit her story,
Anything.
even after
Anything
he
and
had even after he admitted it.
and it just so for Heaven, and I know Heavenly's fans actually got one of the girls' Twitch accounts suspended.
Yeah, for absolutely no reason. It was her
yeah.
name specifically that they got her suspended for,
Oh,
but she
yeah,
had
and now
become part of the
she's-
partner program with that name, so it's just there was no
Right.
excuse, and that's just
Right.
an example of how Twitch is absolutely
Twitch is
insane.
Twitch.
But that's a whole
Yeah.
nother conversation topic for
A
a
whole
whole
nother
nother Rocket
conversation.
Talks.
So that was really the thing with Heavenly. I mean, if we're talking about handling it, Heavenly did handle it stupid. Why would you address a serious allegation on stream? I
On
don't
stream
know.
live and then
Why
admit
would
to
you
it.
call your friend on stream? I don't know, and talk about it.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
did
know. I
call
don't know.
Griffey, who was not very happy about him calling him.
Yeah, I told him to stop streaming, because it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That was stupid. And I
was.
and he denies them, of course, which is fine. Really, my problem is lying in how his fan base handled it. And it's also, he hasn't said anything that would force his fan base to do certain things. He hasn't, as far as I'm concerned, he hasn't encouraged them, to go get her Twitch account suspended, to
No.
harass her. Nothing like that. They're doing that
On their
because-
own accord. And
Right.
due to Griffey's comments, I'm sure.
Right, and that's where my problem comes in, is with Griffey.
Yeah, my main
Griffey
problem is with Griffey.
is-
I think Heavenly
yeah.
should be in jail, but my main
Griffey
issue
should be under
here
investigation.
is with Long Beach Griffey. Yeah, absolutely.
That's just the main problem, because you get on Twitter, a girl comes out, 3 girls come out, that your homie started doing some crazy stuff to them, and your response is to get on a Twitter space and cry. And it's like,
and try to make
who are
a
you?
case for him. It's just insane.
what? Are you his
I know.
lawyer? Who are you?
It's insane, and he just made it so much worse.
He made it so
To the
much
point
worse.
where after everyone's done talking about Heavenly, they're just talking about Griffey.
That's it. And it's just, if people are coming and they're like, well, Griffey cared about Heavenly so much because blah, 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 and because, oh, well, this is why he's acting this way. He's just filled with emotion. And it's like, bro, that what? So you love your friend so much you would support him through sexual assault allegations? Is that the argument that we're trying to make? I don't know if that's appropriate. I feel like if you really cared about your friend, your first reaction would be to be like yo, what's going on? Not
Absolutely.
to
To press them about it.
defending them. He went as far as to blame the victims for what happened,
Yep,
basically.
and say that they need to be
imply
held
they
accountable.
lied. They need to be held accountable. He's
Yeah.
implied they lied.
They lied, yep, that as well, and
And
made
it
it and
just-
made a skit about it, a comedy
A
skit the same
skit.
day, less than 24 hours later. It's just insane.
Yes, and it's like, hey, yo, what's going on? Like, is this caring about your friend? Because with the way
Just
that
digging the
he
hole much
described
deeper for him.
heavily, exactly, that's what it seemed like to me. He was just making it worse.
The way he described him in that space, he described him as someone who would absolutely do the things that he's being accused of doing.
No, seriously, he literally just described a rapist. Is what he described, and it's just
He
like,
did.
like
He
described
essentially outed his friend by
A typical
describing him
man.
as just the type of person who would do something like this, and then
Like-
proceeded to blame the women.
right, and there's so many like levels to how Griffey's actions affect everything, because even if we don't go off of a situation like this, right, even if this hadn't happened, this is something that should have been talked about anyway, because Griffey and just there's Dante who says some crazy stuff, there's Your Rage, all these people make content that is or can be hateful, and a lot of their comedy relies around being hateful, and it just, because of that, now when things like this happen, they don't even need Griffey to say something, because their fan base is going to act that way regardless.
Absolutely.
So Griffey responding this way, it's
It's the
made
type of
it
it's the
so-
type of audience that these people cultivate. Is, I mean, it's easy 2 plus 2. Like the type of audience that this cultivates is the people who would like to consume media about
right.
shitting on gay people, trans people, women that get abortions, sexual assault victims. That's the like. It just makes sense. It just makes sense.
It does, and it's
easy
just
2 plus
something.
2.
It's just something about, to me, it is just so nefarious, you know, to have a platform and cultivate a certain type of platform where
Just
you
a
attract these
hateful
kind
audience.
of people. You feel me? Like, and then I know a lot of these people as well. A lot of their fans aren't just older people; they're young people. They're
Oh no,
children.
I would say they're
teenagers.
mostly teenagers.
Mostly teenagers, and that's a crucial stage of growth.
Yeah.
They could be, it's like they're preying on these people's insecurities, you know,
the fact that
preying
just the
on
fact that
their
they're young,
addictions. Exactly, they're
that they're
not
young and they
old
don't know any better.
you know. So it's like, haha, I'll laugh at this joke at this skit about rape victims. I'll laugh at that.
And it's just
Haha.
not funny.
It's not funny, and it's like,
It's
these
funny
are
to
children,
them because
so
edgy
they
humor is
don't-
what they like, but it's not actually
you
funny
know, but
in the
then-
real
but then,
world.
you know, edgy humor can be better, and this is all they know is this cheap,
Just hateful humor.
pseudo edgy, hateful type of humor.
Yeah.
You feel me? And it's just something to be said about how they've managed to, all of them, not just Griffey, like that whole section of black content creators that make inherently hateful content and say inherently hateful things. Like, there's just something to be said about how they've managed and are proud of just manipulating so many people, specifically because that's who I care about the most, specifically black teenagers and black children, how they've
Yeah.
managed to just manipulate them
It's true.
into this is funny. Like, they don't
True.
understand the gravity of half of the stuff these people make jokes about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these teenagers don't understand the gravity of being raped, don't understand the gravity of sexual assault, and it's just of abortion. Like, they don't understand. They don't understand.
It's
And it's like,
it's really the way I break it down. It's really like a perfect storm of like.
ooh,
It's really like a perfect storm of them being able to create this content and then attract these type of people, because it's like young boys
yeah.
who have this whole like, oh, you can't trust women mindset, bitches ain't shit mindset. And it's what's really sick to me about these channels, about like hateful comedy channels, and also a lot of commentary channels on YouTube as well, where people just talk over like gameplay or something. It's really sick because they hide their hatefulness behind comedy.
They do.
Or they hide their hatefulness behind a video game. It's just so sick and disgusting to me.
It's just twisted.
And then they're able to cultivate this kind of fan base, and then when stuff like this happens, it's like gaslighting, but like on autopilot. And let me explain why. It's like automatic. It's like autopilot gaslighting because they hide their hatefulness behind comedy, and then when something like this happens, and someone's like, "Wow," just like they have with Griffith, they're like, "Well, you guys should have been known about this guy because he's a hateful person and he's really weird. Just look at the content he makes." And then you have kids in the comments saying, "Oh, well, you just don't understand that it's a skit, or you don't understand his style of comedy," or, you know what I mean? And it's like, bro, that's not comedy, and it's really sad how he's fooled you to think that that's comedy. There's nothing funny about it.
I've never understood how they pull up a video and he's screaming about being anti-abortion and you laughing. What's
It's
funny
like, that's
about
what I'm
that?
saying. It's just hiding his hate behind humor.
Like, it's not even a joke. This is just who he is, and he's making a
Exactly.
joke about it. You know,
Exactly.
like there's no.
It's
there's
just
no
him
real
being
humor
hateful and you
involved.
finding it funny. Like, it's not
That's
actually
it.
comedy, right?
That's
so
all
then
it is.
so then it creates like a situation where when stuff like this happens, like I said, it's just automatic gaslighting. It's like, okay, well, this person's been making hateful content. That's what their whole brand is based around. And then people can just be like, oh, it's comedy. And then, you know what I mean? Everyone's like, yeah, and they're all on the boat. It becomes like a weird gaslighting echo chamber. It's so strange.
It's strange. It's not great.
It's not it, man. It's not at all.
We live the
Some
life you
sick
joke
stuff.
about. Exactly, Lily. Like, it just ain't funny. It always bothers me when people who have never gone through the things they joke about them. That didn't make any sense. It always bothers me when someone jokes about something that they've never gone through. There we go. Because it's just like, why are you laughing? What was funny? Did you do it? Were you not the victim in that situation?
Yeah.
Why was that funny to you? It's different when people who have gone through certain things joke about it, because then it's like, well, you're joking about it. That's good to joke about it. Like, that's how you're coping with it.
Absolutely.
But when random people go and joke about stuff they have never been through, it's just so
hateful at that
for
point.
Griffey to release that skit after everything that he had just talked about.
I wouldn't even
blaming
say
the
after,
victims, all
during.
that,
Like, the whole situation was still
exactly,
going on.
It was still happening. So for him to release that is so just
It's sick, man.
evil. Like, it's disgusting. Like,
And
it's
then-
actually horrible.
And then to go and play victim, talking about how his friends are turning their back on him and everything, and it's like, bro,
Is he still making this
like,
about him?
why would you want, or like, why would you want to be friends with someone who does something like this? If you condemn that behavior, why would you want to be friends with someone who does something like that?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Like, and why would you expect someone who condemns that behavior to still be friends with you after, and then
You know what?
guilt trip them about as if you've done nothing wrong? Like, it's just,
He's
it's insane.
On the stream that he had, he basically was like, and all these people, he didn't mention anybody. He's just like, there's so many of my friends who basically they did not hit him up, did not talk to him after the fact, or to ask him his side, or to ask him what happened, or nothing like that. They basically either unfollowed him, blocked him, just stopped talking to him, right? He was saying, oh, well, I wish they
Oh,
would
wow,
have
he
checked up
missed.
on me. But then he was saying, he was like, but I understand why they wouldn't want to associate with me, basically saying it's because his words got taken out of context or whatever. You know what I mean? So he's flip-flopping, and I feel like it's because
Big
he
time.
feels like he's crumbling.
He knows he's
And
done
he-
something wrong. Well, that's
He
what I'm saying.
does.
He's probably losing opportunities right now in real time. There's probably
He
people
already
who
got
no
banned
longer
from
want to make.
DreamCon.
Yeah, exactly. He was banned from DreamCon. People, I'm sure, don't want to make content with him. I'm sure any sponsors that he has, some of them are probably saying that they don't want to support him anymore. He's losing support from people. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
You can't play this game and base your whole internet personality and maybe even real life personality around, oh, I can say what I want and hurt who I
can't.
want, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. You can't cancel me. And then once you face a large amount of backlash from the majority of the people in this situation, um, you can't backpedal now. You know what I mean? He even
can't.
tweeted about backpedaling, and he's like, I'm not gonna do it. I stand on what I say. Like, I don't care what friends that I lose. Blah 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 blah. And it's just like now he's backpedaling and deleting his Twitter and deleting
He's
the
crumbling.
video,
He's
and it's
like,
just,
what's happening?
you know what I mean? Like, you can't. You gotta see it through to the end, man. Like, you can't. You know what I mean?
And it's just like you also can't be talking about, well, I wish someone would come check on me, and then say, oh, well, I understand why you wouldn't want to associate with me. Then again,
It's
say no
contradictory,
one's
man.
checking on me. Like,
It's
bro, make up
contradictory,
your
man.
mind. Make up
It's
your mind.
contradictory.
And it's because in his heart he believes what he's saying, and he's not gonna take it back. So he wants his real life, and really he wants his friends to accept him and to just.
And to
He
agree with
wanna
him,
talk
yeah.
to
He
him.
wants people to be on
Exactly.
his side, and there's
Exactly.
nobody
That's what he wants.
on his side. Nobody of
Nobody.
any importance on his side in his eyes, because none of his friends are backing him on this, or like I'm sure a small amount are, but you know what I mean. For the most part, and even if you don't condemn this type of behavior and you really don't care that much, anyone with a brand is not gonna want to associate with a person like this,
No.
because they're gonna get blacklisted just like he does simply by associating with him.
That's crazy. Griffey basically blacklisted himself from DreamCon, if anything,
Yeah.
because he didn't have to say anything about Heavenly at
Absolutely
all.
not. He had to say he didn't have to say anything at all.
He could have kept quiet like the rest of y'all sus black content creators who associate with Heavenly,
And he would have been
Like,
fine,
we gonna get into
just like
that.
they are. I mean, you see the odd tweet about, oh, such and such is very quiet right now, but at the end of the day, they didn't say anything that's gonna incriminate them in any way.
No, they didn't. They didn't say nothing. And we're gonna get into that. We can get into that. But I just want to make it clear that, like, it's just insane. There's so many just talking points when it comes to situations like these
Yeah,
within the
absolutely.
black content creator community. You know?
Mhm.
There's so many talking points that I've probably not even touched on.
Yeah.
There's been so many, you feel me? But like, it's bad how I mean, it's not like this is the first time. Like, PewDiePie has an entire huge platform with millions and millions of people that follow him, but and his content isn't inherently hateful, but it's just an example of how it's not inherently hateful, but somehow half of your fan base are white supremacists.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
just like something you're doing is giving that off. And that's one of the things that this section of black content creators is doing with this content.
Right.
Your rage doesn't make content around hating women, but boy, oh boy.
I mean,
you hate
I'm sure
women.
there's some hints of it in his content. I'm
You know,
sure that's.
there's, like,
I know there's a
exact-
reason why I don't like him, and that's probably
and that's
part of
the
the
kind
reason.
of stuff I'm talking about. It's just
You know
like
what
you
I
can
mean?
go through some of his content, and here or there you'll find the odd questionable thought, and not
Yeah.
one thought going untalked about. Like, that one problematic thought speaks volumes about someone's character,
Yeah,
and
you're
then
absolutely
it's
right.
volumes about their fan base.
Mhm.
If you got millions of subscribers, and in every 20 videos you talking about women are trash or something like that,
Mhm.
I'm inclined to believe half of those people, they agree with that.
Absolutely.
They agree with that and they don't mind it. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? They don't mind it.
Most of them either agree with it or they're not gonna say anything. They're neutral on
Right.
it. It's, you know what I mean?
And that's, you know,
We
oh,
back the blue. Yeah,
no.
we have to beat these guys. There's no way.
Oh no. Lola, pizza crust is not for Lola. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Yeah, it's so many levels to this. It's just these people don't be real. And I can't even sit here and just because it sounds jealous if you talk about this person has such a big platform and all their content is hateful, because it's not inherently their fault. I mean, to me, it's not even the fault of the people that agree with that part of their content, because if you agree with that content, you gonna consume that content. You feel me? That's
You're
just how it's
absolutely
gonna
right,
go. It's the people who sit and support content creators and don't call them out for the stuff they do, but still consume the content even though they don't agree with the content creator's character. Those are the people that really make me think to myself, like what's going through y'all head?
Essentially, just the bystanders of the situation.
Right, it's like the whole good cop, bad cop thing, where it's just like you could have 300 good cops, but if one of those becomes a bad cop and all 299 let it slide, I'm sorry. That's 300 bad cops. Because why are y'all letting stuff like that slide?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
It's not making sense. Lola, command strips are not for eating. Yeah, it's just, and I don't want to blame them for someone else's behavior, but you're part of the reason why so many of these people are able to thrive in spaces like this.
Yeah, it's true. It's
You
true.
know?
Saying absolutely nothing and being neutral in these type of times it's just as enabling as actually enabling it.
Like, bro, there were people in his comment section that were just like, well, I see both sides. Both sides of what? Griffey just said hold victims accountable for not actually saying no. As if running from somebody as they hold you is not a no.
Exactly.
You feel me? Like, what other side would you have us take?
There really isn't another side. But see, that's what I'm saying. These people sort of create the other side. Oh, I fucked up.
It's okay. Dang
They
it.
sort of create the other side by like I said, going the absolute distance to find anything and everything that will discredit the victim's story. That's how a side is
Right.
created.
Right. They'll go and pick stuff apart. There's that whole section of people who are saying, well, they were flirting, as if that's supposed to mean something in the future.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's all in all.
Because there really isn't a side. He
There's
got
really
on
not.
live and basically agreed with what she was saying, but minimized it. He didn't tell a separate side of the story. He said exactly what she said.
You said, and they hate when we call out black people. I cannot count the number of times I've seen somebody in Griffey and Heavenly's thing talking about, well, this is part of what a black man has to go through. People trying to bring
Yeah.
him down. We bringing him down because he sexually assaulted somebody. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it really has nothing to do with being black. It's everything to do with the fact that you did something horrible to somebody, and it's not okay to do.
Like, it don't make sense. It becomes a problem. Why would I sit here and support a fellow black person just because they're black, but they've done some real messed up stuff? Why would I do that?
Yeah, you're
We should not
absolutely
be so desperate for representation that we get that kind of representation.
Yeah, and it's a
Like-
completely separate issue, man. It has nothing, like I
is.
said, to do with being black.
It don't.
It's absolutely nothing. Those two shouldn't be in the same conversation.
Not at all. Not at all. But when you have the creator themselves, there were so many people saying Griffey's the protagonist. There were so many people doing that, and it's just like,
It's very weird
Yo.
behavior, honestly.
and that's something that he's a narrative that he's created for himself within his fan base.
Yeah, and they just go along
As
with it.
as just like, I'm the protagonist, I'm untouchable, I can say what I want. You feel me?
Yeah,
And it's just there's just so much just wrong with things like this. Like, honestly, it didn't have to get this big. It truly did not.
No,
Heavenly
he
Kid
made it
just
a
had
lot
his
bigger than it
face
would have been.
piece. He did. Griffey made it bad. He really made it horrible. Like, cause
He did.
I'm not
For
gonna
both
lie
of
to
them.
you. Men sexually assault people all the time. Women sexually assault people. We know men do it more commonly, and that's just like, I hate to say it, that's run of the mill stuff. Like, that happens.
It happens, yeah.
Most women experience that. It's just one of those regular occurrences. But for Griffey to use his platform to sit here, not even just him, several black content creators sat there and defended Griffey. Like,
yeah, it's true.
for all of them to do that in light of this is just, it's unheard of. Like,
wild,
it's
honestly, it
actually
really
bananas.
is.
I honestly rather them just be quiet. We're gonna talk about that too, about someone being quiet. But I would really rather them just be quiet than to sit here and act like their friends can do no wrong. But you know what? I'm not even surprised, because this is something that men do for each other in the first place.
They do
ride
protect
for
each other. They absolutely
They do.
And it's so wrong.
nothing but nice. And it's just, it gives us a glance into men's behavior and how they actually act. Griffey really thought that saying Heavenly is very pushy, can't read body language or social cues. He thought that was a proper defense.
It's insane that he thought that would help him at all.
Then saying that we take it out of context. How? You just described a rapist. Is what you just described.
Someone who is very pushy with women is exactly the type of person who would sexually assault a woman.
Like, hello?
And it's insane that he just thought he was going to build a case for him.
Like what? He built a
by
case
saying
already.
that. Yeah.
He built a case
against him.
Yeah, the wrong kind. Like, it's not adding up.
Yeah,
Maybe
that was.
women can take accountability. They'll always bring up women not being able to take accountability, and in the wrong instance. In the wrong instance.
It's true.
And the thing is,
And
it's
do
always
stuff like this.
Women can't take accountability when they make a regular mistake. But whenever men don't take accountability, it's because they done freaking killed somebody, raped somebody, groped somebody. Like, I don't know. It's just it's not adding up.
Yeah.
It's not adding up. It's not adding up. Y'all don't even check your friends when they need to be checked? Exactly. Exactly. They don't. They really don't. Things like whenever Jay is streaming with some friends or whatever, and Tory Lanez, for example, will come up, and you'll have him dry defending, like dry actually, like not like dry defending Megan, sort of. It's just, they don't have to sit down and have a conversation like this, but it's real simple stuff that men need to do, which is just like, whenever a conversation comes up, y'all gotta check each other in the most casual, friendly way possible. And that is something that Jay does in a really soft kind of way. But I feel like if more men interacted like that, we really wouldn't run into so many problems of them acting a fool. You see what I mean? Like,
no way.
What's going on?
I just jumped right over the ball. Are you kidding me? I literally could have sold that.
But like, if they could check each other in regular casual conversation, like if they could check each other if they call a girl a female, it's little stuff like that that just contributes to the dehumanization of women. You feel me?
You're absolutely right.
So if they could check each other casually.
See, I was thinking about that the other day too, is the whole like females thing. That's a very gaslighty thing to do, because
it honestly is.
It's just it's so ambiguous that it's really easy to just be like, yeah, female's not offensive, you are a female, I'm a male, blah 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 blah. But it's like, the reason you say it is to get under their skin and be disrespectful. Like, that's the reason.
Calling somebody female is like calling them the B word. I mean,
it's damn near derogatory the way that people use it.
It is. It's just, if my dad calls my brother boy, it's not a problem. But if a white man calls my brother boy, it's a problem.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right.
Well,
and that's just another one of those things. It's too ambiguous for you to really, you know what I mean? For you to be, for you. How would I explain it? It's too ambiguous for you to be rightfully mad, and I'm not saying that you can't be rightfully mad at that, because you should be, but it's enough of a reason for someone to say that you can't be rightfully mad about it.
Right, exactly. That won't go in. Yeah, I was right. Let me see the
long ass overtime.
There's too much drama because women will let other women know. Exactly. Women, for the most part, ladies should know when they're doing something crazy. I do that often. I lose a lot of friends like that. So you can just call her a liar? Exactly. There's a lot of that. There's a lot. It really is. Women can't do anything. Like, everything a problem. Everything a problem. You can't come out and say you've been sexually assaulted by a man. You're gonna be called a liar. You're gonna be asking for evidence.
They just assume you're lying off rip, and I don't understand that. I feel like that happens on like a larger scale. Like, for example, like with sports players and stuff like that. But I feel like on a that's game.
Excellent.
I feel like on a person-to-person basis, like, I feel like that doesn't happen very often, or not enough for people to act the way they do towards women who are sexually assaulted. I feel like it doesn't happen that often. Not gonna say it doesn't happen, because it does, but it doesn't happen all that often, honestly.
So if you think every woman a liar, do you really think exactly? If
Well-
they think every woman's a liar, they don't think sexual assault victims exist.
Yeah,
They
you're
don't.
you're absolutely right, and that goes back into what I was saying about these young kids with these bitches ain't shit, you can't trust a woman mindset. I'm leaving the game. I'm not playing these guys again.
Alright, bet. You can have this dub.
But you know what I mean? You get what I'm trying to say. It's just
I understand.
yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It is dealing with stuff like this. It really is a lot. Like as a woman, it just sucks. It really does. Like we can't do anything. We
It's true.
can't report when, and it's always a lot of like, well, where's the evidence?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how it sounds if I say this person poked me? Where's the proof they poked you? How am I supposed to prove something that physically happened to me?
True. You can
know what I
murder
mean?
someone and leave absolutely no evidence behind. That doesn't mean you
Exactly.
didn't murder anyone.
Exactly. So it's just like it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense because acknowledging they exist means you can't laugh at your disgusting jokes. It's a great point. Dang it.
His name is COVID-19.
Yep. Yep. If they came to the reality of a woman's experience, of a man's experience, of people who have been sexually assaulted, that experience, if they became in touch with that reality, I can promise the jokes wouldn't be funny anymore.
No.
There's just
It's-
no way they would be able to be.
That's how people are. It's never it's like people never understand until it happens to them or happens to someone close to them. Mm-hmm. And that's with everything. But like
Yes.
a lot of jokes are just not funny. You know what I mean?
No.
And you can't be expected to laugh at jokes that you're bothered by.
Can't.
You know what I mean?
Can't.
Jokes are not funny to everyone, so you can't. Even the argument of it's just a joke doesn't work.
A lot of it's subjective humor.
It's exactly so, and humor in general is subjective. So you can't just say it's just a joke or anything
Wow.
like that.
You know, it's another one of those things. Another one of those things where it's just like, not me losing my train of thought, just lost it. It just left me. It just disappeared. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Funnily enough, a sexual assault victim is not the one laughing at your jokes. Funnily enough, it's someone who it
insane.
hasn't happened to that's laughing.
It's insane. And somehow they're
crazy.
telling the actual victims and people affected by these jokes that they need to just laugh and deal with it because it's just a joke.
Insane.
But it's like
It's
that doesn't
insane.
even make sense when you break down what humor is. It's just
It doesn't.
it's just
It really doesn't.
nonsense and gaslighting, man, on all the time.
A lot of the behavior they exhibit is a lot of gaslighting. Like
Yeah,
it is
absolutely.
just a huge amount of it.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And it sucks. Like it don't make sense. It don't make sense. But while we're talking about this, what specifically really does bother me about situations like this and situations with men in general is that men do not call each other out.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, well, maybe they just didn't call someone out publicly, but sometimes they don't be calling them out privately either.
It's true.
And unfortunately, if you are a content creator
Great job, 'cause I
and
missed.
you have made content alongside certain people, I'm sorry to say this, you are obligated to say something when someone who you've made content with does something crazy.
Absolutely.
You are obligated to say something.
As far
You
as
should-
I'm concerned, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
As far as I'm concerned, if you have a big following, or even like a moderate following, and someone
Ooh.
and you uphold a certain standard or something, and someone close to you goes against that standard or that moral code that you hold, if you don't, one, check them about it, and two, make a statement about it of your own, condemning it, you can't be looked at as authentic or serious or real. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You can't.
Yep.
Something like this can't happen to you and you not say anything or make your stance on the situation known.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You owe it to the people who follow you, and you owe it to the people. You owe it to the people who are affected by the situation. If it's something, wow, that was a great shot.
I'm back.
If you're and you owe it to the people who were victimized to absolutely say something about it, because it's
You
not
do.
right if you don't.
And for like, and I'm
Any-
gonna be real specific.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be real specific. It's just you got, and a part of me respects the people that are gaslighting, that are agree. For example, I have more respect for the people that are outwardly agreeing with what
Yeah.
Griffey said
I
than the people who decide to just, like Berlin, to just retweet, to just unfollow Griffey silently, and then to retweet the post that DreamCon put up about not allowing certain people now
I
at their
agree.
convention.
I think that
You feel me?
bystanders are even worse than the people who are outwardly agreeing with these things, because they're not making their stance known and they're leaving it up in the air.
For interpretation.
Exactly, and that is not an okay thing to do, in my
No,
opinion.
because you know what? You know what we gonna interpret?
Oh my God,
we
great
gonna
save.
interpret that you don't mind. what just happened.
Absolutely. If you're not
That's-
saying
that's-
otherwise, I'm gonna
that's right.
assume that you don't condemn this behavior. If you don't make it known that you do condemn it, because you have to stand up for what you believe in, man.
Yep.
Especially
And it-
as a leader of a community.
Especially.
We beat COVID. We beat him.
We did.
We beat COVID, bro. Let's go.
Nice. And it's just like during the civil rights movement, okay, it was full of black people, it was full of white people when they would march with their signs, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was both people, right? For black people that weren't marching, you wouldn't be able to assume they just don't agree. They might just not want to put their life on the line.
It's absolutely true.
They might want to put their job on the line. You feel me? Their kids at risk. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And that might have been their reason for not marching. But the white people that weren't marching,
Yep. Talk
the
about it.
white people that weren't marching, it would be completely fine to assume it's because they didn't agree with what was going on. And that's just the same concept. It's
You
all
have to.
dependent on who you are, what you're doing. And for a lot of y'all big content creators that hang out with that group, that is your responsibility
Absolutely.
to make sure that you say something.
Diving deeper into your analogy of the civil rights era, for a black person in that time, to see a white person that's not outwardly opposing what's going on, you have no choice for your own safety but to assume that they're one of the bad ones.
Yep.
You don't have another choice. You literally have to assume that, because you can't afford to take the chance. You
No,
get what I'm
it's
trying to
just not-
say?
I
So it's
understand.
like, if you're someone who condemns this behavior, you have to openly say it, man, to make your stance known. You can't leave it up in the air. And I think that people who leave it up in the air are very opportunistic. Because they're essentially playing both sides indirectly. You know what I mean?
And that's how it feels to me. That's how it feels to me to for Berlin to unfollow, and it seems just like it was just to make us happy. If you know what I mean. It feels like for Berlin to retweet that tweet that DreamCon put up, for him to do that and then just unfollow Griffey and not say anything else about it.
It just seems like he had no other option. You know what I mean?
It
So he did the
seems-
bare minimum.
And it gives me the feeling that he don't want to do too much because he don't want to lose him as a friend either.
Exactly,
That's-
and
that's
lose
what it-
opportunities or whatever the case is, right?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying with the playing both sides stuff, is that that's how it is. And expanding on it more, even worse in my opinion, was PG's response. I'm gonna be honest.
Word.
It was
That
worse.
was even worse.
It was even worse. Nothing was said about it.
Nothing.
Nothing was said about it. And he did have an indirect response.
Yep.
He said, "This sucks,"
With
with
a
a broken
heartbreaking-
heart. And that is just up in the air once again.
What does this suck? What does that mean? Like, who does this
What
suck?
sucks? Does it
You
suck
feel
for
me?
Griffey? Is that what you're concerned about?
You still following him?
'Cause they're-
so what?
They're great friends, apparently, judging by what he's been saying for the last few weeks since DreamCon.
You feel me?
They're the best of friends, so what about it sucks? You know what I mean?
It's-
You have to make your presence known, bro. You
And
can't,
it's another one of those things where it's like it just seemed like he not trying to do too much.
because
He don't want to lose somebody.
exactly. The way I see it is like you owe it to your audience to make your presence known, because if you're sitting on the fence publicly, but in your mind you know which side you're on and you're siding with the people who are in the wrong in this situation, you know damn well that those people wouldn't continue to support you, and that's why you wouldn't make a statement about it. So you owe it
because-
to the people.
We gonna do that. I'm gonna get even more specific. He owes it to his 80% women audience. He
Absolutely.
owes it. He owes a response.
Absolutely.
To his 80% women audience who bring in most of his income. He owes it.
Absolutely.
Like, it is completely unfair
Yep.
and unacceptable behavior
you're
to sit
absolutely right.
here and that's all you gonna say when 80% of your audience is women. 1 in 4 of them have experienced sexual assault, and for you to sit there and just say this sucks with no explanation is very irresponsible, and you're saying it and leaving it in the air because you know that 80% of them are women,
You're
and you
absolutely
know
right.
that more than half of them have probably gone through sexual assault, and it's just I
you're
cannot because
absolutely
it's upsetting. It makes me so mad. And
And-
you heard Griffey say we need to start holding people accountable who don't verbally say no. You heard him say that, and your response has been this sucks.
Yeah.
Like you heard him say
I
that.
want to know what sucks. I really do.
I'm trying to know.
Diving deeper into why I think that bystanders are worse than the people who are outwardly siding with this is because if you have an audience, using PG as an example, that is made up of that many women and that many people who are opposing what's going on, you owe them an explanation, and you owe them
Dude,
to have enough information on what your stance is, because if you're withholding your statement on it because you know that you're on the wrong side and you know that these people wouldn't continue to support you if you did come out and make a statement, then that's wrong on so many levels to not say
A lot.
anything.
a lot.
I the way I see it, you're just using them for their continued support at that point, for views,
That's
for
it.
money, because you know how you feel about it, and you know that these people wouldn't continue to support you. So with that being said, you're using them, and they're following you under false pretenses because they think that you're someone. They're thinking that you're someone who condemns this behavior just like they do. So, in my opinion, you owe your audience an explanation when something like this comes out and you're close, not quite involved, but closely tied to the situation.
You know, it just goes to it. And while we're at it, ooh, they getting lucky.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like I only watched 3 gaming channels. Okay, we gonna break this down. I got into video games whenever around the time the first remastered Tomb Raider came out, right? That was 2013. And of course I played them before then, but I wasn't really into console gaming or like the serious gaming until that age when I was like 11, 12, 13. You feel me? That's when I first got into video games. At that time, I found 3 video game YouTubers that I liked back then. And I stuck with them because your girl's stubborn. I don't like change. I don't like having to look for new content, having to catch up and learn new types of humor. I don't like that. I had 3 YouTubers, all right? I had the Rad Brad. I had Achievement Hunter / Rooster Teeth, and I had Cryotic, who used to go by Chaotic Monkey. I used to watch them. That is who I watched for the longest time. Now, 2 out of 3 of those YouTubers have been accused of sexual assault, of grooming, of rape, of molesting, of manipulating their fan base. 2 out of 3 of them. Achievement Hunter, someone on their little group, and Cryotic has been accused of that. The last person left that was safe was Brad. Now, when all this stuff started happening, where all these YouTubers were being called out for doing all this, and this, I tried to keep my circle of gaming YouTubers that I watched really small because a lot of them were weird. Like, I didn't like Markiplier. He was cool with PewDiePie for a little bit, and I didn't like that. And I didn't like Jacksepticeye. He was weird and loud, and I stayed away from all that.
And these people in a minute.
Oh,
Continue.
So whenever I found Berlin's channel just as a I found a snippet of Caillou on Facebook. My sister showed me. I thought it was really funny. I watched it for a few times, and then I found his YouTube channel, and then shortly after that, I found his gaming YouTube channel. Right after I had watched all his exposed videos, I found his gaming YouTube channel. Fell in love. It was great. It was to me, a person who struggled with my identity for so long. It was nice to find a black YouTuber that was really funny and that, as far as I knew, wasn't strange and weird, right? So a couple years later, we get introduced to Berlin's editor, to PG, and it's all cool, right? PG cool. I was part of PG's community at the very beginning when it first blossomed and everything.
That's where we met each other.
That's exactly. We ended up meeting each other like that through all the shenanigans that we went through with his Discord server being deleted and all that.
Yep.
So currently, I had PG in Berlin. I didn't know about Corey since then, but me and Corey, I like Corey. He cool now.
Corey is cool.
But I didn't like Dante. I didn't like Your Age. I didn't like any of the big black content creators that were, in the circle. I didn't trust any of them. And Berlin didn't really make much content with them in the beginning or whatever.
It really only started
earlier,
in 2020.
Right. So, it was cool for a while, right? Because they have their behaviors, and I don't like to hate on them or bash them, but they have their behaviors, and they have the questionable things you're saying, and all y'all know about the questionable stuff they be saying, all right?
That's true.
So it was cool to be part of the 2 communities, Berlin and PG, to be part of, even Joe, to be part of those 3 communities where I could, like, fit in, figure out my identity, as a black individual, and I could just fit in with other people, other nerds like me. It was cool, and it felt like home. You know what I mean? And just recently, since they've started playing games with all these content creators and stuff like that, it's just slowly becoming less genuine. And it's like I've already lost 2 out of the 3 original YouTubers who I will watch, who used to be unproblematic. And now it's just like, now it's just so questionable because I don't know if they think they'll lose opportunity or somebody was real cool and they don't want to lose that or whatever. But nowadays, it's questionable company now that they're keeping. It's
absolutely.
Questionable company. And it just sucks because it feels like slowly we drifting toward, I'm not gonna have no black content creators at all. Like, I'm gonna have to go back, and I told you I'm stubborn. I don't like change. I'm gonna have to go find some more content creators that are unproblematic, and it just hurts me because it's like, am I gonna go through this process every time I find someone new? Where it's like, the only person who stayed true is the Rad Brad. He ain't done nothing. He chill. He make his content. He get his bag and he go. That's it.
It's really that
and
simple.
I respect that. That's all he does. That's really all you need to do. Like, why can't y'all just be normal and regular? Like, what is going on here? And like, it just hurts me because I feel like I can't sit and support people who very quietly try to make their stance instead of outwardly condemning some of the things that go on with the people that they now keep company with.
That's how
It
you
just
can. That's how you can tell who's genuine or not, because a
right.
lot of the content creators, Afro, Lotus, who
Mhm.
else? Um, Balvin, like they made their stance clear. You know what I'm
Clear.
saying? Fuck Heavenly, fuck Griffey, and if you fuck with them, then fuck you. You know what I mean?
You
They make
know,
that's how you know it's genuine, because they make their stance very, very clear.
clear.
But for the
And it
people, I'm worried for the people who don't make it clear, because
worried, and I'm
why
worried
aren't you
because I'm
making it
worried.
clear is the question.
You
Why?
know, and it just leaves horrible things up to interpretation because it's like,
It's true.
have you done this before?
Exactly. Are you involved somehow? Like,
Is that why you don't want us to call you out because you didn't done that?
that's
Is
what
that
I'm
what it is?
saying. That's what I'm
It
saying.
it, it brings and we ain't gonna mention no names, but we do know of one of the people that we've mentioned who has done something questionable, and the victim has not said anything about it, and she hasn't expressed to me her discomfort or anything like that with the situation. But that was a crazy situation.
It absolutely
That was a
was.
crazy situation
You're
to do,
absolutely
and
right.
even me sticking around this long while knowing that information is a lot.
I
It's a
told
lot.
you. I told you. After I learned about that, my whole viewpoint changed, man.
It changed. It
It
changed.
changed
Like
the
that.
way
That
I
kind of
look at
stuff.
all of this shit.
You feel me? And
Yeah.
it's like wrong for me to bring it up. It didn't happen to me, so I'm gonna let it rock. But it's just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
like,
I don't
shoot.
think it's a coincidence that that situation took place, and now that they don't want to say anything. You know what I mean?
You feel me?
I
So
don't
it's
know.
like, what's going on? I feel like Berlin is Berlin, and he is not as outward and brazen as a lot of these people. Even back in his like 2018, 2017 days on gaming YouTube, he wasn't just brazen. He just would say whatever. He just would say whatever. It'd be questionable, but it wouldn't be like questionable in the sense of just like, is that sexist, homophobic, or
It
transphobic?
was just
You
weird.
know? It was, yeah, you
It
know,
was
just a
just
cringy
weird.
joke. That's it. And this conversation, like, it just, it, it just sucks, dude.
I agree.
Like it just sucks. You know, I'm kind of glad I found Corey, and I also shout out to another unproblematic YouTuber, Chase Money. Glad I
Yep.
have those
Love
two. I was
Chase, man.
introduced to both of them by Seven, and they cool. They don't say nothing weird. Chase just funny. It's all jokes with him, but like he ain't say nothing weird, ever. Not as far as, and I've been videos back. You know, it just sucks to want to be a black content creator and then also to kind of look up to other black content creators, and then they doing behaviors like the ones we've been talking about.
Yeah, you're absolutely
It
right.
just sucks because it's like, who we got? Who do we have
Yep.
that's normal and deserving of their platform?
Yep, you're absolutely right. I think that this is a good lesson to learn about who's genuine by their response to the situation. If they were
Exactly.
involved or closely related to it. You know what I mean? I think that's a great way to tell, honestly.
It is.
Another thing is, I think that people like PG and Berlin understand the demographic that they have that watches them, and they understand that half of the people who watch
Oh, welcome
them,
back, Lily.
huh?
All right, welcome back, Lily.
Oh, I think that. Oh, great! Oh, I just sold that.
Hey,
Oh my
nah, it's okay,
god.
don't worry.
No, that was a great save on your part. But I think that people like PG and Berlin understand that the demographic that watch their videos is partly made up of the people who very outwardly and very passionately oppose the type of shit that's going on, and another part people who are the same ones, like I said, that have that can't trust a bitch mindset.
Right.
The ones that are in the comments defending, they understand that their demographic is made out of both groups of people,
Right.
right? Because
And-
you can tell the demographics of the people who make, from what I've seen, who made their statement and their stance extremely clear that they oppose this. I know what type of viewer base they have, and it's
Right.
mostly made up of the people who are just like them, outwardly opposing it. You get what I'm
Right.
trying to say? I think that
Exactly.
I think that partly goes into their silence as well, because they understand that that's what their demographic is made of, and I think that's very wrong, because You know what I mean? You can't stand up for what you believe in and be afraid to lose people.
You can't.
It's very selfish in my opinion. It's very, very
It is,
selfish.
and that's why I can respect the people who outwardly agreed with Griffey more than I can respect the people who have just decided not to
Yeah.
say anything.
They don't
or
have
to
the
do-
integrity, man. They're cowards.
Exactly.
It's cowardly in my opinion.
And I can respect that because it's like you're afraid of losing the support of people. You don't deserve that support from those people.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's very cowardly and it's very manipulative and wrong because you know those people would not continue to support you, but you don't say anything, so they will continue to do so since your stance is up in the air. That is very, very wrong to me on several levels.
Yep. Yep. It's not making sense.
No, absolutely not.
Like this behavior. It just really sucks to be a content
way.
creator, and this is what we got to deal with.
Yep.
You know, that's one of the reasons why. And we had one of we used to be cool, at least back in the day. He was actually part of one of my streams, my Rocket League streams actually. I won't mention his name because, you know, it's really whatever, and I have him blocked now. But like, he had tweeted something like, y'all still gonna watch Griffey after this. And I
know that for sure. I never watched that nigga to begin with, but
I hate people like that.
it's just it's once again just minimizing the situation, bro.
Minimizing it completely.
I would like to think that the people who are outwardly opposing this issue, who the tweet was addressed to, would not continue to watch that person.
Well, the crazy part is the people who actually are outwardly dissing him are people who knew he was like this.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Who already knew who he was based on the content that he made. It's the people that watched his content and will laugh at it, who will say stuff like, y'all still gonna watch him after this.
Yeah.
And it's just, it kills me. Because they're not bystanders, they're just neutral people. Mm-hmm. And that's even worse because it's like, what do you stand for?
You know
what
I mean?
are your morals? Where do they stop? Where do they stop and where do they start? It's the same issue I have with people who can know that the rapper, the artist, the singer they're listening to has done something specific that doesn't agree with their morals, but they listen to them anyway.
Yeah, you
and
can't continue to support people like that.
You can't. And it's not as simple as like, well, you know, I don't support their actions, but I still listen to their music. You don't support their actions, but you still giving them a bag.
It's true.
So it's like, are you
running them
supporting
streams
it,
up,
whether
man.
you like it or not?
You're supporting their career directly by continuing to stream their music or to consume their content.
That mindset. You are supporting the mindset.
That's
you
true.
are, and that's just
You're absolutely
you are.
right.
You know, and it's like, I can't handle that. You gotta have more integrity than that. Like, y'all cannot just not stand for stuff. You know, you can't separate the author from the book. You can't separate the music from the artist. It's just, you can't. You can't do stuff like that because their content is full of their mindset.
It's true.
It's full of it.
Just like I said, they hide their hate in humor.
Exactly.
And it's disgusting.
Directly.
You know?
That's the kind of bias we ran into. I won't get into that because that's the whole thing. It's the kind of bias you run into when you listen to people like Rick Ross, who will make songs about date raping women.
Yeah.
You run into this problem when you listen to Kodak, who's a rapist, who's been convicted of it a couple times.
Went to jail for it, man.
You know, and it's like,
guilty.
I don't listen to his music, but I'm sure there's a line in there somewhere that kind of supports that behavior. You run into people like J.K. Rowling, who has an immeasurable bag, who has
littered
a whole,
all throughout her work, man.
All throughout her work, she has a whole like amusement park at Universal.
See, that's a situation where you can't separate the art from the artist because the artist is in the art, man.
In the art,
the artist and everything they believe in is in the art, man.
Her mindset is literally in every character in her books. Every single character is in there. And it's like, y'all can't be so wrapped up in, oh, well, this book was so good. And, oh, well, this was so good. Hitler was a great artist. He wasn't the best. He wasn't Michelangelo. He wasn't Da Vinci. But he definitely wasn't some run-of-the-mill type artist. He could paint. He could paint great, but he was Hitler. He was Hitler. Like, it just, y'all cannot be so consumed in these material things and the way something makes you feel. Your moral compass has to, like, go further than that.
It's true.
Like, it just, ooh, I didn't mean to get so passionate. It's just like, it kills me. It kills me.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know the proper, there's a term for it. There's a term for consuming things even though they're by a bad person. There's a term for it. And I don't remember what it is. I do not remember. But it's like we are addicted to it. You know what I mean?
Nice.
We're addicted to it, and we cannot, as humans, we for some reason just cannot detach ourselves from it. I seen someone who said, well, I've been watching Griffey for years, I've been watching Heavenly for years, and his content helped me get through stuff, so I have to support him.
No, you don't. You absolutely don't.
It's like, no, that's not healthy.
No, that's horrible. Are you kidding me?
This could have gotten somebody through their coping after getting sexually assaulted. And you're sitting here, I don't know what you went through, but you're sitting here and saying you have to continue to support him. What if you've been sexually assaulted? And you find out that the person who's been making you feel so good and so happy about life has done the same things that your abuser did to you.
The same
and it's
things
like,
that they were supposed to be helping you through.
the same
Allegedly,
thing.
according to you, is just like.
But you can't stop.
Oh, that was good.
Like, what are y'all going through where y'all are
It's
addicted
sad,
to
bro.
content like that? Like, that's
Sad.
bad.
That's
The-
horrible.
they-
That's a
how
terrible
have
mindset
they-
to have, to feel obligated, because I guarantee you that person doesn't know who you are. They don't know your
No.
name. They've never seen you before.
No.
And you feel that you feel indebted to them just because they are doing their job.
Like,
That's terrible,
Like
man, in my
what?
opinion. And
It's
so
bad.
indebted to the point where you have to support them even though that they've victimized other people. That's a bad mindset to
it's
have. That's how I know that these are mostly kids.
mostly kids.
Only a kid would say something like that. There's
Only a child, a teenager.
only a kid would say something like that. That is a juvenile mindset to have, and it's a
is.
horrible one.
And there's no, like, we gonna get into PG again. I'm gonna talk about that some more later on, but because it has to do with this. There's no, like,
No, so
in communities like this, I can't imagine that there's like a mother, a father, an older person to explain to a lot of these kids when stuff like this is bad and not healthy.
that's all.
You know what I mean? Like, I've seen it all throughout my timeline because I do follow the correct people that are a part of PG's community, the people that I've known for a while. And I can see some of them, the ones that are over 18, a lot of them are heavily condemning this behavior. Heavily. But I know that with the type of content that Dante produces, that Your Rage produces, that Griffey produces, that Heavenly produces, it's not a lot of mature figures in there to help some of these kids understand when things are wrong.
Nope, there's
You know
not.
what I mean? Like, and of course the parents ain't gonna be there because your parents ain't gonna be involved in a lot of your hobbies. But like, it's just,
Oh, no.
it is just so
Great
strident.
save.
It is just telling takes like this, so many takes like this, that they're all just from children. Just from minors.
Oh, my double jump didn't come out.
I was like, what happened to you just now? I thought you were gonna hit it. It's just real telling, like, and the thing that's bothering me as well about PG in Berlin is that Berlin, all he did was retweet that thing about DreamCon. Alright? All he did was retweet that. He didn't make a tweet of his own, his fans could respond to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's just the bare minimum, man.
You know what I mean? If PG made his little comment or whatever, and the fans that he had responding, that I could see responding, were just saying how they agreed it sucked. You know what I mean? But there wasn't anybody doing what I'm doing right now, which is condemning his silence.
No,
There was nobody doing that. And that's what bothers me.
it's true.
I don't know what kind of audience you running, because I don't tune into PG streams anymore. I was subscribed for a long time to support him alone because I didn't like the vibe anymore, but I still wanted to support someone who I had met so many people through. You feel me? I did want to do that. But it's just like, what kind of community you got now where nobody is telling you you should have said something?
That's what I'm saying.
You know? You know? It's crickets. It's crickets. In Berlin, I don't know if he knew people were gonna ask him to say something or what, but if he did, maybe that's why he didn't make a tweet about it.
Maybe.
See, and that's another one of like, we're having to interpret because there was no official statement made about it.
It's up in the air, and that's frightening, honestly.
It's frightening. It actually is.
It's very, very concerning.
Like, I don't know, y'all. Like, I don't know. There's a lot going on here. It's just concerning to be part of a community like that. Like, y'all ain't gonna say nothing?
Yep.
Y'all ain't gonna ask him what he thinks about it? Will he answer if y'all do?
Yeah.
It's stuff like that that, like, it pains me. People I've ridden for, people I've supported, for them to act like this.
Yeah, it's concerning to say the least, man. I don't know.
To say the least, it's concerning. They're lucky. They are lucky. We're gonna play till 9 o'clock.
Okay.
You have work tomorrow?
No.
Okay, nice. We'll probably finish Game of Thrones tonight. But you know, y'all, that's really like the gist of like the entire conversation. Ever since PG PG and Berlin have been off my list of content creators I really pay attention to for a certain reason. PG because of the situation that I know of, and then also because the Tory Lane situation happened, and I don't quite remember what he said.
I totally forgot about that, but
yeah.
What was PG's response to the Tory Lane situation?
It was like,
I'm pretty sure it was one of them ambiguous answers. I remember too, because he didn't address it directly. He addressed the album and said that the album that he dropped was good. And then there's a lot of discourse because a lot of women in the comments were saying, "This is fucked up for you to be
you feel me?
Free to be talking about listening to this dude's album and supporting his music after he shot Megan." And his answer was to cop out and say, "Well, I didn't say that I supported him. I just said that I was listening to the album and the album was good." And then he took that very weird, fuck your feelings, I don't give a shit sort of stance. And that really rubbed me the wrong way.
It rubbed me the wrong way as a long-time supporter. That was actually the month that I let my subscription to him on Twitch end, I'm pretty sure.
I actually forgot about that, actually.
Yeah,
I totally forgot about it, but once you mentioned it, I remember, and I remember that I wasn't fucking with his response to that.
Me either, because it kills me, because a woman just got shot. All right? A woman whose career is performing just got shot. He could have shot her. He could have killed her. He could have paralyzed her. He could have hit her Achilles, destroyed her leg. Like, a lot could have happened, and you taking the stance of, you're taking the toxic stance.
Yeah,
since
you know what I mean?
Since that's the theme of your
like
whole
the
brand.
edgy, neutral, like, I'm gonna listen to the album and the album's really good and you're sensitive and, you know what I mean?
Right.
It rubbed me very, very wrong, bro, I'll be honest.
Wrong. Super wrong. And the thing that kills me the most about PG is his toxic behavior. It wasn't in the beginning, like when we first formed the fan base or whatever. It was not that. Like, it was not just F your feelings kind of toxic.
No.
It was like a specific brand of toxic where we were still having a good time.
It was really just people roasting each other in chat, and that's how it happened. And then people would joke around and say that it was toxic, and that's how Toxic Gang formed.
You know,
it was not always Toxic Gang.
It wasn't the real toxic that people be exhibiting.
No.
It was just our own little playful kind of toxic. I don't know where it's come from now to just, it's manifested into something completely different.
Like I said, it was simply people just roasting each other in chat and talking shit to each other. Playfully, not even like on some rude shit. But it was just It was just people messing around with each other, and then people joking and saying that the chat was toxic, and it caught on, and that's how toxic game was formed.
PG would play like a choice game, and then hold fast on whatever his final thought was, and it would be like, oh, PG being toxic, because he being hard headed and just it was whatever, but it was still cool. It was just like a joke thing. It was just like PG being toxic. He don't want to hear what we saying now. He's got his own mind, own decision. That's what it was. And now, no.
I just feel like it went to his head. I just feel like it went to his head, man. Honestly, I just think that it went to his head and it caught on and it just was taken too far.
And to connect this back to Griffey, it seemed like, I don't know PG. I mean, I guess anymore. I don't know him, but it just seems like he idolized Griffey, and he idolized Griffey's mindset of not being able to be canceled and saying whatever he wanted to say. It seemed like he idolized that. So
once again, that's very concerning, because the only thing that I can think of that those two have in common is the whole "you can't cancel me, this generation's too soft, I should be able to say whatever I want" mindset. That's a red flag for me, man. And honestly, the way I see it is, if you consume content from Griffey, I already know what type of person you are, man.
And that's it.
Them becoming so buddy and him setting him as his profile picture, it just the way that I interpret it is, Long Beach Griffey does the shit that PG can't do because of the way his fan base is built.
Exactly.
That's the way I see it.
There seems like there's stuff that PG would like to do and say that he kind of knows he can't do, because he knows what his fan base is mostly made up of. And that's why
he looks at Griffey like he's such a legend. I can't think of any other reason.
That's it.
I genuinely can't. He just does the things that PG can't do. And he stands for exactly what he stands for, except he's able to really capitalize on it and outwardly, wear it on his sleeve, in a sense. And PG can't do that. That's the only way I see it. They probably sat down at DreamCon or some shit and had a conversation about it.
And then I'm always wary of content creators over the age of like 24, because that's once you that old, you're not in my generation no more. And nice shot. And you start believing in cancel culture and stuff like that. And I don't know.
This generation is too soft. Once you get out of Gen Z,
that's what it is.
This generation is too soft, people.
That's it.
Once you get into millennials, that's what it is.
That's all millennials are.
Yep.
What a save.
That's just what it becomes, man.
But yeah, y'all, it just hurts me, because it's like, this is Berlin and PG's and Joe's communities. Were communities that got me through my second year of college when I was going through a lot. That was a community that helped me. And God. It's a community that
nice save.
That has changed for the better. And I was never one of his. They be talking about the OG toxic gang, and I was never one to be like, well, PG's so popular now, things have changed. I was one to say things have changed for the better. He's more successful. He's got more people around him. He doing his thing, he in his bag, and I'm proud of him. And I wish sometimes that things were how they used to be. But all in all, I'm glad they're not, because I would hate for us to have just kept him, to hold him back.
You can't expect those people to stay small content creators forever, right?
Right, and it was cool while it lasted, but it can't sit away forever. I never was one of the people that minded. Yup, overtime. I
just think that things have changed, and that it's gone in the direction that I just don't identify with anymore.
And that's why it hurts.
I've just outgrown it. They mess with some weird people. You know what they say, man? You're judged by the company you keep. Wow, I sold that.
Okay. What's that saying?
You're judged by the company you keep. I absolutely judge people by the company they keep.
I do.
Because if you're friends with someone, you have to have some similarities somewhere.
It's different when it's little stuff, but when it comes to things about morals and moral obligation, I'm definitely judging who you're deciding to be around.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yep, you're
and
absolutely
it
right.
just hurts that like the community that I met so many amazing people who during that time of what was that 2018 2019, met so many amazing people through PG in Berlin who I've been friends with for years now. You know, people who I could tell anything truly. I just don't because I'm private. You feel me? And it just
No, but there's a
it
lot of
hurts
good, very
that
trustworthy
now.
people in there.
Yeah, and it hurts that now, like the community or the content creator and the community have come to this.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
man.
just like there's no big black content creators I can turn to now.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. It's kind of
That's what it
sad.
feel like. That's what it feel like, especially in terms of like YouTube. I'm gonna have to like deep dive for it because it just, but it
Sure.
just hurts me because that was such a pivotal point in my life, that year of college where I was on my own in my own apartment. You know, that was such a pivotal moment for me where where I realized who I really was.
It's true.
So they were there for that, and it just sucks now that they being these kind of people
It's true.
where I gotta like think where y'all gotta be like, is this person supporting a sexual assault offender or what? You know, I shouldn't have to question that. I used to didn't need to question that about them, and now I'm questioning if they supporting him or not. And it's like this is just a completely different sort of thing. And I appreciate that, Lily. You know, like it's cool of you just to support the smaller content creators. It really is. You've always been like so good at that. Like
Yep.
always a writer for smaller content creators, and it's great. And it's just like we just need more of that because
Yeah, you're absolutely
these
right.
big content creators, they just not getting it done. They not getting
No.
it done. Especially when they all like link up and just become friends. It just
Yeah.
it's
just
not great.
that's what it is, right? It's like this is the big group of black content creators just in general. Like these are, you know what I
Yep.
mean? Like there's not if there's any other large collectives of popular black content creators out there, I'm not aware of them.
Me either. I'm the only people that I'm aware of is like just the anime people, and then the
Like even
I
even even Chase and like PG and them are not very far removed because Ricky plays with Chase. I found Ricky
Right.
through Chase because they played games together and Ricky plays games with PG.
right.
You know what I mean?
You know, but they don't. They're not together.
No.
It's just it just sucks. Like it wouldn't really be this much of a problem if they would continuously call each other out. But because one of the things that I did admire about Achievement Hunter is that this is his name, Ryan Haywood. Whenever he was outed as a child molester and borderline pedophilia and stuff like that, whenever that happened, like the whole company worked together to, you know, they fired him. The whole of Rooster Teeth, like Rooster Teeth fired him. A bunch of them condemned his actions. Nobody stood alongside him. So why is it that it was easy? Maybe it's because of their company, but why is it that they were able to do that, but black content creators, for some reason, the males cannot hold each other accountable for anything? You know?
Yeah.
Like what's there's something there. There's something there that connects.
You're absolutely right.
And I know there is. Like, I don't know if it's because Rooster Teeth was a company, but Ryan worked there, what, maybe 7, 8 years? He worked there just as long as his other coworkers. They've been friends, they know each other's family, and they still called him out and cut him off.
Yep, you're
Didn't matter.
absolutely right.
It didn't matter.
That's how you know
So-
their stance on things.
Right.
You know what I'm
So
trying to say?
why for some of y'all is we not getting that? Why for some of y'all it seemed like, you know what it seemed like.
Yeah.
Because they friends, because they make content, but when it hit the fan, they drop each other so quick.
I think that it's
I hope so.
I think that it's just they don't want to lose opportunities. They don't want to lose money. Simple. They don't want to lose the love of the people. They don't want to see their analytics go down. Like it just seems like it's all selfish reasons for holding their stance on a situation and just leaving it up in the air.
And it is. It is. It's all selfish. So selfish.
Yep.
People I don't know who talking about this. I don't know if anybody's talked about it within the community because I'm not in PD's Discord or anything. So, and still again, I don't know if he's addressed anything. I don't know anything like that. It just, it too fast. It too fast is this situation being like ignored.
You're absolutely
You
right.
feel me? Like too fast is it fading away?
Yeah.
Like it happened. This was
We're
a
already
big
not
thing.
talking about it. You know what really did it? The real nail in the coffin was Heavenly coming up with that video and just being like, "Oh, I deny all these claims, and now I'm not gonna address it anymore."
Right.
And that was it.
And it's just no one talking about it no more. And it's like Griffey reactivated his Twitter
And this is, I think that's how it goes a lot of the time.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It was very serious. I'm not gonna measure severity of the situations or compare, but it was a more of a significant event when it happened in the Smash community because multiple, and I mean multiple people were outed for the same things.
Yep.
And many victims came forward and legal action was taken. But see, with this situation, it's not like that, so it's easier for it to just fade away. And you know what I mean? If not to press charges, what are the victims' next steps? You know what I mean?
Right.
If they're just
Right.
if people are just gonna be like, oh no, they're lying, then what other than tell their story? What else is there for them to do?
And there's nothing.
You get what I mean? After they've already told their story.
Because with the legal system the way it is, it's hard enough for girls to get justice whenever they have been sexually assaulted in the first place.
It's
if they
true
do
because
decide to
nothing ever comes of it.
Nice.
Nothing
don't
ever
know.
comes of it, unfortunately, and it's disgusting.
It is.
But you know,
It
people
is.
don't believe them.
I don't care how good I'm a Fleur by R. Kelly and T-Pain is, and I listen to that song again. Correct. And I find it easy, Lily. Like I find decisions like that to be extremely easy.
Yeah. I
Like-
deleted all the Tory Lanez off my phone when I found out he shot Megan. It's not hard. And my life hasn't declined in... They scored that at the last second?
It did.
My life, the quality of my life hasn't declined in any way. If anything, it's got better, so...
Better.
You know, I don't listening to Tory Lanez, man.
Like I don't be listening to people, cause it's like the content is full of their thought process. I can't.
Yep.
I can't.
And the thing about the album, too, bro, when that happened, is he was, like, dissing Megan on the songs, man.
You feel me? Like that's not weird to y'all.
Like, you're gonna shoot her and then drop a diss track? And I think that was one of my main issues with people talking about, oh, the album was good or whatever. Because it was like, bro, what? Are you kidding me?
Like what do you mean? Got the baby off my playlist? Exactly. Real simple.
Man,
Real easy.
I already
love
didn't
niggas.
listen to that nigga because his music is just not good, but...
Yeah, his music kind of blows. I only got songs with him featured on them on my playlist, or that was on my playlist in the first place. But it wasn't easy to take that man off. Like not supporting people is so easy. When you hurt people pockets, they really do learn a lesson. I
That's what
can
I'm
tell
saying.
you that.
This man's about to perform
It's
at
like-
Boosie's backyard birthday party. Like, come on, man. And he was just about to be on the biggest stage of the year? Like, come on, man.
Like y'all gotta hurt people pockets. Y'all just not willing to hold. It's like why would someone hold themselves accountable if y'all can't hold them accountable?
Exactly.
If
Why
y'all
would
gonna
they?
let them slide, they have no reason to change their mindset, to change
Or
their
even
way of
admit to the wrong things that they did. That's the thing.
Yup. I was like, he gonna hit that. Like, I don't know. It was from when he first came out that I was constantly skipping regardless.
Yeah, the shit. His music was never that great.
I've just never understood people not being able to just like stop listening to somebody after something. And it's a lot of regurgitated separate the music from the musician. It's a lot
of
of
the
that.
time you can't do that, though.
But you can. And especially now with music, because it's like, even if he not distinctly talking about raping people, he raped somebody. You're listening to a rapist. How do you feel about that? Like, how doesn't that bother you? Like, how don't that bother you? And it's not like you listen to an alleged rapist. You're listening to one that got convicted and sent to jail.
That's what I'm
What's
saying.
going on here? lot going on. There's a lot going on.
And there's always an excuse, bro. It's always like, oh, the justice system it's corrupt. Like, yeah, the justice system is corrupt, but like that doesn't apply here.
Hey, but you killed a man. That's my whole problem with who is it, TK or whatever, who killed somebody. He deserves to be in jail. I'm sorry. He
You
was
gotta
young,
stay in there.
and the system against black people is unfair. But
It doesn't
he
apply
had a
here,
lot
though.
of charges. It doesn't apply. It
It
doesn't apply.
It doesn't apply here.
That's my problem.
That's the
That's another problem.
simple fact of the matter is that it just doesn't apply here.
That's another problem that I have, because now they treat Griffey. They're like into heavenly. They're just like, well, they don't want to keep a black man down, and it's like.
Bro, I saw
you
someone
actually
reference
did
Emmett
something
Till
bad.
in like, are you
And
kidding me?
I remember that.
Emmett
Like, for
Till,
real?
bro? Are you kidding me?
What kind of world is this where you think Griffey is being, or Heavenly is being treated like Emmett Till?
Emmett Till. Bro, no one ruined Emmett Till's career. And
Like,
Emmett Till
what?
didn't sexually assault anyone and admit to it. He did absolutely nothing and was killed for it.
Killed for it, and then later on, the victim came out and said she lied.
Exactly. It's insane.
And y'all got the nerve to compare that.
To
to-
Emmett Till,
to-
bro. It just makes me so sick. Like, that's how you know these are kids. Once again, no adult with a in the right mind is gonna say something like that.
No, they won't. Like, what is wrong, truly, with y'all?
Like,
and then for
bro.
y'all to just, and it's like they find a fan base and they just use the youngness of that the age of that fan base. They use their underdeveloped mind to like
It's manipulative, man.
explain and excuse
It's
their actions
manipulative.
because they know that their fan base is too young to know any better, and it's just crazy. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, it's just so wrong on so many levels, bro.
Yes, Lily, girl, they be acting like their artists are irreplaceable. You will find another Kodak Black. I'm sorry, you will. You will.
Are you know how
I'm
many
sorry.
Kodak Blacks in Florida there are? Come on, man.
Come on, talk to me. You know how many Tory Lanes exist?
In Toronto, bro. You know how many? Bro, don't even get me started about kids that rap in Toronto, bro.
Like, what? He was just the Tory Lanes
I
that
can
made
think
it
of
out.
I can think of like 3 different Toronto rappers that could replace Tory Lanez today.
Like, no.
Come on, man. You gotta be kidding me right now.
It's not like we talking about like a Michael Jackson,
No.
a Beyonce. We talking about rappers.
And
You
just
know
because
how
they're
many people in the
irreplaceable
same club?
doesn't mean that they're untouchable and doesn't mean that
No,
they're just above
don't.
everything. Like, bro, those
'Cause if
people are
Michael
still
had
subject
really-
to the same consequences.
Come on, because if Michael had really touched them kids, I would not listen to a single thing he
No,
put out.
I don't listen to R. Kelly anymore because he's weird and he's a
Like, bro.
whole sex offender.
No, I don't listen. It don't even take all that. I don't listen to people that are colorists. I don't.
No.
My A button messing up on my controller again.
There'll never be another R. Kelly, but it doesn't matter.
It don't.
It doesn't matter, bro.
Don't. It don't. Like, it don't matter. I'm sorry. Y'all just are gonna have to lose out on that musical talent. He
know what I
decided to
mean?
waste it. So now we gonna lose out on it.
And that's just the way it has to be, man.
Y'all are killing me.
Yeah. But yeah, man. I think we can wrap it up there. I think we've
Yeah.
pretty much got
We-
the topic of conversation pretty
We
well
did.
talked about.
We did. We did. We've talked about. We've touched most of the bases. I mean, there's always something more to say because to me, this feeds into a bigger mindset that the Black content creator community perpetuates and shares. So
We could
for
talk
me,
about this
always
for-
something to say.
for
You can talk about this for
hours,
days.
Days.
There's so much to talk about. But proper rocket talks. I'm gonna edit this, and honestly, I'm gonna cut it up.
Mhm.
I'm gonna cut it up.
You can take
And
my
I'ma
VOD
upload
too
it.
and cut out my face camera or whatever if you want to use it.
And splice it.
Mhm.
Mandem. My A button getting stuck again. I'm after the new controller.
Again on the new controller? You got the same one as last time, right?
Yep.
Nah, there's no way. How come I haven't ran into that issue yet? What the fuck?
I don't know. I mean, our controllers are different, remember? Because
That's
mine is
really
like 3
weird,
buttons
dude.
and yours is 2. But like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna just. It's good I got the warranty on it. so you know I could just go trade it in literally. Just literally trade it in. So you know, but yeah, we touched all bases. Proper rocket talks. I plan whenever things like this happen, I plan to talk about them because it's just enough to get off my chest. Because like when it's stuff like this that affects me directly, it's just so much to talk about and so much to feel that I need to express it. So I'm gonna cut this up and I'm gonna upload it to the channel, and this will be like the first real rocket talks, I guess. This is the debut of actual rocket talks. So you know, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, yes, in the middle of the game, because yes, that is what's happening. I'm gonna get on tomorrow. I don't know what time. I really don't, because things be happening during the day. I'll know a proper time if when I get my own place. I'll know a proper time that I'll be streaming, and I'll be able to make an appropriate schedule. It's just hard now because I'm not at my own place. But you know, once that happens, we'll be good. But I'm gonna go ahead and how are they human enough to be able to feel emotions, to make mistakes, but not human enough to not be rapists and murderers? Exactly. It doesn't make sense. It just never. Jail? No way I'm getting sent to jail for ending the stream. I have been streaming for like, I don't know, 2 hours? I was supposed to stream for an hour. I've streamed for like 2.5 hours. But I am going to try to stream longer tomorrow because, I mean, I can't draw because Lola decided to eat up one of my cords for my tablet. So, I don't know what we're going to do. I think I'm going to start a Sims series where I try to run a daycare, actually, because I didn't know that was a thing you were able to do, is like have your own daycare in The Sims 3. Like at your house. That was cool to do, actually. So I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow. But today we gonna end the stream for like 1. Yeah, okay. But today we are going to end the stream, and I will be back, you know, tomorrow, and we'll have a great time. I love y'all. Thanks for listening. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Yes, sir.
Yay.
Alright,
Says
I'll
you
close
love
up the stream as well. Yeah, man. Rocket talks, man. It's crazy stuff going on in the world, man. Everyone out there, fucking stay safe. Stay inside. Keep your mask on. Yeah, man. Thank you to everyone who popped up to the stream. I love y'all. Stay safe, and shout out to all the bro. Shout out to all the victims of sexual assault and anything similar. I'm sorry that you had to go through that, and I love and support you, bro. No way you doing that while I'm talking about serious stuff. Anyways, I love y'all. Peace, man.